Today we are taking a look at a millennial couple who lives in Iowa who just can't seem to get ahead. In this episode of Millennial Real Life Budget Review, we're going to be breaking down their budget, their debt, their goals, and seeing how we can rework some things in order to crush those goals. Stick around. Let's just go ahead and get right into learning a little bit more about this couple. So this is a couple, one of them is a receiving tech at an agricultural lab, and they live in Council Bluffs, Iowa. Now I know that's right down the street from Omaha, and I've definitely passed through Council Bluffs, so I know your neck of the woods a little bit. They said the biggest thing that they're struggling with financially is saving for retirement and just accumulating future wealth, really trying to build up their net worth. They said their top 2 to 3 financial goals includes paying off husband's student loans, saving for a down payment on their next home, and saving more towards their retirement and their future. They currently have $1,850 in their emergency fund with a goal of $5,000. Interesting that she put a goal of $5,000 here and didn't list it as a top financial goal before. So we're going to talk about that inside of the budget. They've been married for 1.5 years, and they actually bought their first home for $44,000. I cannot believe this. $44,000 at 4.8% interest rate in 2019. That is insane. I don't think you could even get a shack in Southern California for $44K. So that is incredible. They are also looking to move into a better, bigger home in the next 3 to 5 years. And their health insurance and profit sharing plan is 100% sponsored through their employer. That is so amazing. And then they're grossing $105,000 as of last year as a couple. Let's go ahead and hop into their budget and see what's going on. Taking a look at their budget, and they are using the budget toolkit that I offer for free, which is always linked below in the description box for you to download and start inputting your own income and expenses. So this looks great, and she color coded it, which I love. So up here at the top, she's got her mortgage debt and her federal student loans. I also see that the mortgage payment is listed here. So I am actually, this is being counted twice inside of her budget. So I'm actually going to remove those payments here just so that we have a more accurate reflection of what money is being spent. We don't want to count that twice. So we also have the federal student loans at 4.14% interest for $14,000. So okay, they are federal student loans. So in September, the interest starts accruing. October, you start making those payments, so we can really talk about how we can pay that down really, really quickly. In total, their monthly income is around $5,000 per month, and according to their budget, they have about $4,000 in expenses, leaving about $1,000 left over. This is incredible. Let's take a look at their fixed items and see what's going on. I really don't see anything that looks problematic. The utilities look okay. $275 for dog monthly needs. I'm curious, is that food, medication? What is that? So that does seem high, but I'm also not a dog owner, so maybe all you dog owners can tell me. By the way, I love dogs. We just live in rentals, and you know how it goes. Landlords hate pets. Okay, so the starter emergency fund, she said she had $1,850 inside of her emergency fund savings currently. And when I was tallying up all of her fixed expenses here, so everything that she would absolutely need to cover in case she were to lose her job or her husband were to lose her job, they would need to cover $1,800 in expenses. So right now they have 1 month saved up. Ideally, they would aim for 2 to 3 months of living expenses set aside in an emergency fund, and then after they become debt-free, then they would aim for 6 months of living expenses or more. So 3 months of emergency fund expenses would be equal to roughly $3,700, and then $5,500 would be their end goal for now. Later on down the road, they'll absolutely want to build that up even more. Let's take a look at their fund money spending. Holy moly. Okay. almost $800 of your income is going towards shopping in restaurants. $300 seems kind of like a lot for Council Bluffs unless you're making multiple trips to Omaha and you're eating out like crazy. I could be wrong on that, but these things I think you could easily knock down, and clothing as well, because this is $1,000 just easy that you could reduce and maybe even cut in half. And then also some of these other fun money expenses. I just want to see how much money that you're spending on just discretionary spending. Wow, okay, almost $2,000 in fun money spending. So I think this is definitely an area that we could address. And then also you've got a lot of money going into different future expenses. So only $50 going to the emergency fund. I think we need to change that. We've got a couple of different sinking funds, it looks like, that you've been building up, which I love to see. And you also have Roth IRA contributions, which is killer. You've got a 401k, which this is actually using after-tax dollars here. So this 105.60 really should be your pre-tax contributions, which needs to live over here in this table, in the pre-tax paycheck contributions. So I am actually going to delete this and keep going. Okay, life insurance of $55 and combined brokerage. I'm assuming the brokerage account is for your down payment, and the house project fund sounds like it might be for your current house. So if I'm going back to your goals here of paying off student loans, save for down payment, invest more for retirement, here's how we start shifting things in order of financial priority. A lot of people have a lot of different goals, and then they want to put their money in all these different goals at the same time, which is okay to a degree, but you're not prioritizing that one specific goal. And there is an order, especially when you have debt. So the first thing is actually what we're going to do is aim for the $5,500 in emergency fund. And ideally this needs to be in a high yield savings account. I currently use Ally Bank. They pay out 3.75% interest. It's been an incredible bank because not only do they pay high interest, you actually get to take advantage of their savings buckets, which helps you organize some of your savings for some of these micro goals. You might already be taking advantage of that, but I thought I'd mention it because it's really important. So really, we're actually going to bolster this emergency fund and plan out this savings first, and this should take the bulk of your money until you hit $5,500. Now, you already have money set aside, so let's see how much you need left. So you need $3,650 left in order to hit that goal, and you already have $1,000 net here, so let's see how intentional we can be with hitting that goal really, really fast. So I'm actually going to add 73. So if we can do $1,100, I'm gonna cut shopping in half and then add another $250 here. So we've got $1,300, almost $1,400 going into the emergency fund. I'm also temporarily, we're going to reduce. So let me ask you this, do you both contribute to a 401k plan? You said your employer sponsors your health insurance and profit sharing, but I'm wondering if there's any other 401k plan. If so, keep the 401k, and we're just temporarily going to reduce the Roth IRA contributions to zero. I know accumulating wealth is really your goal, but right now we need to financially prioritize the emergency fund because it's just too low for you to move to the next step. So if I take that out, just kidding, because your formula actually didn't include any of those savings functions. So we've got to actually shave some dollars off here. So I'm actually going to delete the combined brokerage. I'm going to actually delete all your savings and then see what we come up with. Okay, now you have $1,373.83. So if I can do that, $1,373.83. Now we're looking a lot better here for your planned spending. This is your planned spending, which is what I want you to carry on for the next month. So next month, this is the plan that I want you to start sticking with. And then we can even, I feel like we can even reduce restaurants to this, Clothing, can we drop to 75? Like, I just want to slash this because I know the quicker that you can build up that emergency fund, the faster you can move on to the next step, which is achieving wealth. So let's take a look at this. $36.50 is what you need left, divided by 1548 is what you can definitely move over for next month. So really we're only looking at just over 2 months of doing this work. So by month 3, you would have this first goal knocked out. So in less than 3 months. Cool. Then once you hit 5,500, stop, and then you're going to redirect that money into paying off the student loans. So then this would zero out, and we would not be contributing anything more to the emergency fund. And then we would actually be moving payments over to this actual payment. So I'm going to do the 308, which is the minimum, plus the 1548. So you'd be putting 1856 towards the federal student loans. Let's see what that looks like here over at the debt reduction calculator. This is by vertex42.com. Love, 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 love this template. And let's go ahead and add that in. So it'd be another 1548. Okay, so the 1548 plus the 308, no, it's total 1856. So 1856 is your monthly payment. Okay, so 1856 would be your new monthly payment. And this is incredible because if you were to start paying this off in, let's call it August, you could have this done in 8 months and be completely debt-free by next April. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this over in your goals that this will take 8 months. So a year later, less than a year later, you will have your starter emergency fund completely filled and paid off your student loans done. Now, after that's done, then all of this goes away. Right? Then we don't have any of this left. And you're still making the minimum mortgage payment on your current house. Then you'll have 1856 left over to save for the down payment. And that's where I think you can start either using the brokerage account, or you can use a home down payment account with a high yield savings account, or split the difference. I actually have a video of how my husband and I have done this up here in the cards for you to check out and get some ideas of how you can save for this effectively. I know you said that you wanted to have a down payment saved up within the next 3 to 5 years. I'm curious, do you know how much, like what's the dollar amount in that down payment savings that you want to aim for? This is going to be kind of a big step. So already you haven't been saving anything for the down payment, but you do have some money. If this combined brokerage is that money is being used for the down payment, then you're already solid. Plus whatever equity that you end up getting from the sale of your current home, unless you decide to rent that out, which would be really cool and a really great way to have passive income. So I think you have a lot of potential here for saving for the immediate need, which would be the down payment. And then at the same time, here's how I would do it. I would financially prioritize that down payment savings, and then you can also start reincorporating that Roth IRA contributions. So if you wanted to, do 400 and 200, I can't remember what those numbers were, but you'd still have the bulk of that leftover cash going towards the down payment of $1,200, which can quickly add up to this number right here. That's how I would do it. Also, keep in mind, now that you're debt free, you actually have more choices with some of the other things that you want to incorporate back in. So you could incorporate the $100, yeah, 400 and 200. And then house project fund would be another $400. So really $656 could still go towards the down payment, or you could adjust these amounts where I feel like maybe we're contributing less to some of these goals and putting more towards the down payment. It just depends on how quickly you want to get into that home, or how much that down payment amount is going to be. What is that cost? And is it going to be in the same area? Or are you moving to a more expensive location in which you would need a higher down payment in order afford those home prices. I think if this couple can really buckle down on the emergency fund and the student loan debt, they will be in a much better place financially to start really attacking the accumulation of wealth and saving for that down payment. If you haven't checked out my retirement video in which I outlined the different steps to take in order to really boost that retirement amount, you'll definitely want to check that out up here in the cards. And if you like these types of series, this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to join the Debt-Free Millennials family, where we are committed to crushing debt, achieving financial confidence that leads to more fun and less payments, and I'll catch you in the next one.